Today we're going to be working on the wire safety bracket, the ECU triggers, and also the reverse taillights. Alright, so we did some extra modifications. So, I think I discussed before that for our reverse lights, doing the manual trigger thing just wasn't working and was going to be too modified. So our next bet is we have an input to the ECU, which is a trigger ground, so I could just, tap something temporarily just to see if it's working. The output of the ECU is going to ground, or I should say a ground trigger to the reverse taillights. And then it de-triggers by after going over a certain RPM, it will automatically turn this off. So that's all wired up. Then over here, and don't freak out, it's just temporary. I needed to put a ground to go to my courtesy lights, and then the positive is there, and this also runs a positive to if I put a reverse camera at the tail light or at the license plate area, put a camera. So that's all good to go. And I'd say for the most part we are close to kind of giving this a run. As you saw, I got this all modified and in, so we have plenty of clearance with also a fail-safe, nice heavy thick metal there to keep that away from there. And then it's pinned in here, and then it's pinned 2 times down there, and then a time up here. So we're solid on that, not worried about that anymore. And normally this would be the time that I was going to come in here and actually put my trans tunnel in and get all this stuff up, get the trans tunnel in, and then let the stuff lay on top. But I have things like the trans cooler lines and stuff that I really don't want to cover up yet until I know that it's not leaking. So I think my first run at getting this actually going this is all going to be exposed like this, and you know, get a few miles or at least an hour of idling or whatever you want to call it on the car to you know, get this thing going. But what I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to take the template that I printed out from my center console and make it out of wood and drill it and put all the components in. Because what I'm noticing is when you look at, where is it? This light switch. This light switch is so freaking huge that, you know, when you're creating the panel, you got to make sure you have clearances for the other switches around it. And this thing is just so bulky that I've already moved it twice, and I'm kind of like, I think I got it now. And so I really need to just create a mock-up of that panel and verify that that's actually going to work and fit. I'm not going to have the center console in. I'm just going to make the panel, shove everything to it. And I also know that, you know, nothing's going to short out against each other because it's all separated and stuff like that. So that's going to be a good call. And then I think once I do that, then it's time to bring up each circuit separately without the ECU on, and kind of just get everything verified. At this point, I have one LED you can see in the middle of that pile that's temporary in there, so I can see if my courtesy lights are working. You know, the wireless is already in this. The AC stuff is in this. That's the other thing. I don't have my AC stuff in, so what I think I'm going to do, even though this is probably shut off, if I want to test it, I think I need to put these two tubes together and, you know, put a coupler in here and close those off so stuff isn't shooting out. So that's another thing. You know, it's just nuances that you could forget, and all of a sudden chaos happens. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. I got a good day in today, not like yesterday, which I was against the wall, I felt like. And hopefully we could get this brake situation figured out and get that all ready to go. So I think that's going to take a little time and getting a special die to help facilitate that. And that's about it. Have a great day.